Hi, thanks for joining me for an update on my recovery from Fluoroquinolone Toxicity Syndrome. What I want to do today is give you about an eight-month update at this point, as far as how I've progressed, along with what I have used to help myself get through this. Because if you've been hurt by Cipro or Levaquin or Avalox, you know how horrible this can be and just how devastating it can be to your life. To give you a little bit of my story, if you are not familiar, in 2005, I was working. I was a writer at the time. I had a successful business. Had been taking Levaquin for months on end. Had taken Cipro in the past, but it was taking Levaquin at this time. Had been taking it, I think, close to 2 months at this point, for diverticulitis that would not go away. And, not feeling well from it, the doctor told me to continue, so I did. And one day, while working, I just noticed I couldn't lift my arms. I could hardly stand. Made it into the bathroom barely. Had to go to the bathroom. I urinated this pink color, which I now believe was my muscles breaking down from rhabdomyolysis. I just remember crawling into bed, sleeping for 4 days, just waking up here and there to go to the bathroom, and noticing hives all down my arms. After the 4 days, I was in the worst pain I have ever been in my life. Whole body pain. I felt like burning. I felt like my bones had been crushed. It felt like they were burning. It just felt everything was on fire. My brain was not working. Weakness, hard to stand up, hard to even sit up. Horrible anxiety, horrible depression, multiple suicide attempts, and just thoughts of it during that time, which I believe were all brought on from the fluoroquinolones. A fight or flight response where my adrenaline was always going. It was just brain fog, light sensitivities, and that's just barely even scratching the surface of how much energy was lost and just how I felt. My first 2 years in 2005, I spent my first 2 years completely in bed, aside from crawling once in a while on all fours to go to the bathroom or to go into the kitchen to make myself to eat. Very sick for 2 years, could not do a thing. Lost my business during that time, obviously, because I couldn't work. My wife later left, along with my children, and I had to move in with my mom. It was a complete financial collapse. I'm not saying this to scare you. If you're just coming out on having, just had a reaction to Cipro or Levaquin, please, give me a few to explain some of the things I wish I knew when it first happened, because I think they're going to help you as well. But that's basically my story. This happened in 2005, first 2 years in bed. After that, began using OxyContin, different opiates, which was not a good scene for me as well. It did help me do more. I was able to function somewhat without the pain, but I had to use high amounts to get rid of the pain. So it no longer worked for me. I had to give that up, and then it was back to being pretty much housebound, rarely able to get out, and just really not living life. It was very hopeless. I was very depressed, But what happened after that was about a year and a half ago. I guess in 2017, I discovered something that pretty much changed everything for me. It was the game changer, and that's what I want to share with you today, along with some other things that have helped, some different things that I do, along with supplements, just kind of to give you an idea of what I did, so that you could maybe follow suit, see if any of these things will work for you, just like they worked for me. Now, what I did notice, I'm sorry, I have a hard candy in my mouth, but what I did notice was that my pain was excruciating, to where I'd be laying in bed and I wouldn't have done a thing all day, yet the pain was a constant. It was intense, and if you know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, because it's the hardest thing you're going to ever have to go through probably in your life if you got hit by it pretty heavily. But what I noticed was that I was reading an article somewhere, and somebody was mentioning using magnesium. And in the past, I had used magnesium. I had used the recommended dosage, which I believe is like 400 milligrams of magnesium oxide, which is a cheap type of magnesium, and I wasn't getting any results. So I didn't think magnesium was an issue for me. But when I read this article, what he discussed was using 5 milligrams of magnesium per pound of body weight. And that sounded like a lot. It was a game changer. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5". At the time, I believe I was maybe about 260. I weighed a lot more than I do now. But so my magnesium intake that I needed to take was somewhere around 1,300 milligrams a day, is what I calculated it out to be. Now, I use this is one product I want to mention. It's magnesium glycinate. And I don't think you can read that because I do have the back camera on this phone right now. But magnesium glycinate is amazing. It's an amazing magnesium, type of magnesium, because it's more absorbable, and so which means you get more into your body, but it also has a great relaxing quality with the glycine in it, which helps your body absorb more. But it's great for nighttime. It's great for relaxing your body right before you go to sleep. What I started doing immediately was I bought a better kind of magnesium, which is this kind. It's just a different kind. It's not magnesium oxide. Started using this, and I started using 400 milligrams a day. 400 to 600 milligrams a day would depend. But that's part one of this magnesium story, because I still, at 400 milligrams, I still needed to make up the rest to get up to my 1300 milligrams. And if you've ever tried to take a lot of magnesium, you know that it'll flush out. You'll have diarrhea and it'll flush right out and you lose it all. So to do that, I had to bypass my intestines, I had to bypass my stomach, and that's when I discovered this stuff. It's pure magnesium oil by LifeFlow. And this stuff is incredible, because what it does is it absorbs through your skin, and it allowed me to get a lot more magnesium in. I had horrible pain in the back of my calves, just this tearing, chewing pain in the back of my calves, in my hips as well. I started using this stuff on those areas, those specific areas that caused me the most pain. I would spray it directly on. I would spray it into my hip area, rub it in, and what I discovered was 6 squirts of this brand is about 100 milligrams of magnesium. So I did the calculations to where, I was at 400. I don't know, I took maybe, close to 1,000 milligrams of this stuff. But, 6 squirts equals 100 milligrams. I'm horrible at math. I'm not even going to try to do it right now, but a lot of squirts. So I would basically squirt my whole body with this stuff, rub it in, let it set for half an hour, and then go wash it off. Now here's the miracle part of it all, is that within a day of using this, I started to notice a difference in my pain levels. Within a few days, I noticed my pain was much improved. Within a week, I didn't feel that same pain anymore. What started happening was I had felt so well that I started doing more, and I started having muscle pain like you would have from working out, because I had been so sedentary for so long. This stuff's incredible, and if you're not using it, and if you're not going to 5 milligrams per pound, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to say you should do it, but wow, it really helped me. I've left links down below for both of these products. A lot of people commonly ask me what products I use to know exactly what kind. The links are below. Just to let you know, I am an affiliate for these. I will get a small little piece of, very small amount when you make a purchase. But being sick, I have not been able to work in a long time. I'm just starting to be able to kind of make videos and do different things, trying to help people. But I don't really have a source of income. I do some small writing on the side, but it's very hard for me at this point. So if you did purchase through my affiliate link below, it would be a great help. But I want to also let you know, you don't need to. I'm not doing this for that purpose, and I am here to help people. I'm going to give you details on how to contact me privately if you'd like to, because I know how hard this can be, going through this, and talking to somebody that understands sometimes and can just help you with experience, of 13 years, can sometimes benefit you. So I just did want to note, though, that these are affiliate links. I do get a small percentage of the money. Now, what else helped? And there was a few things that did help. I was a Christian before this happened to me. I had been a Christian, but not, kind of one of those Christians where it was like, yeah, when it's convenient type thing. So I guess I'd kind of fallen away at that point, and I guess after maybe 10 years of being in this horrible experience, I reached out to God, and it was through prayer that I started to find hope again, and I started to have answers I was looking for. I had been sick for so long, and I was praying. I was asking Jesus for help, and just for support, but also for help and healing. And I believe that these things that I learned about were given to me by God through prayer and through trying to live life the way He wanted me to live, and trying to put Him first. I was so wrapped up in my pain that I had really lost sight and didn't give, glory to God, who is incredibly faithful, incredibly loving to us. And I believe he gave me these tools to help me recover. Praise God for that. That's amazing. So one key component, because I know a lot of people that are sick, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I know there's a lot of people that are sick that are hopeless, that feel they have nobody that can help. God can help you. God wants to help you, and God can help you. And He is really, doctors can't help you. I can't help you. He is the only one that can help you through this. But I mean, it's such a overwhelming feeling to be this sick that a higher power and finding the true God is enormous help. And if you want to write me, I would love to pray for you, and pray for your healing, and pray for your health and recovery in this, because it's very powerful. I fully have changed my thinking on where I was before after going through this experience, and it was in a weird way a blessing to have gone through this, but not that I need to again. I think I learned my lesson. But I just did want to mention that. Another thing that's really important I want to mention is cutting out fluoride. We get it in our water, we get it in our toothpaste, we get it in our food, we get it in some medications and supplements. The stuff is gnarly and bad for you once you've been, sick from these fluoroquinolones, from Levaquin or Cipro. So I cut out all fluoride. I cut out my toothpaste. I use Thomas of Bane. I buy distilled water or reverse osmosis water. I avoid anything. I don't drink sodas or anything like that has, tap water. I'm very conscientious about what I drink and what I put in my body now as far as fluoride is concerned. And I would advise anybody watching this video that's not already fluoride free to review some different websites that give more information on it, or videos, to avoid it like the plague. Just to get it out of your life. You'll do so much better, as well as making sure that you're not re-ingesting drugs like Levaquin and Cipro through like chickens and different things that use antibiotics. So those are two things to be very aware of. A couple other things I wanted to mention that are a little off the beaten path and not for everyone, but I did use medical marijuana. Not that I was a stranger to marijuana before this incident, but medical marijuana, while it doesn't heal me and it doesn't fix me, which some of these supplements I feel helped me and healed me, the medical marijuana, the marijuana use was helpful for just getting through this process, getting through these things on these hard days. It helps with my anxiety dramatically. I still suffer from anxiety. It helped with that. It helped with changing my mood and putting me in a little bit better of a mood. It helped with almost like a muscle relaxer when I would use it as an edible. It wouldn't take away the pain, but it would help relax those muscles, because my muscles and everything just felt so tight while going through this before discovering the magnesium. The other one I want to mention is kratom. It's an herb, and it's available at head shops and different places, but it comes with a warning. What kratom is similar to an opiate. It's not quite an opiate. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but it's almost like taking an OxyContin or something. I don't get the weird head, but I get immense pain relief, and I get a lot of relief from my anxiety. So it's great. It's a great herb to use, but at the same time, it can become addictive, physically and mentally addictive. So it's something that you need to use sparingly if you do decide to use it. If you don't believe me, you can watch some of my videos on here. I've made a lot of videos helping other people get off of kratom, because there is a withdrawal if you go through it and you use it too heavily. So my recommendation would be to use it like no more than 2 or 3 days, and then take 2 or 3 days off. I try to use it on occasion when I have something really taxing on my body to do. So I will use that, but it's something you definitely have to use very sparingly. Aside from that, one last thing I want to also mention that's outside the realm of supplements and that kind of thing is cell phone, Wi-Fi, the radiation that comes off of those things. My understanding is our mitochondria is damaged from these fluoroquinolones. So basically, what the cell phone does and what Wi-Fi does is it agitates that. It aggravates your mitochondria. And I notice all kinds of problems, irritability, stress, anxiety, and this is all when I'm using my phone too much. It'll interrupt my sleep, or it'll cause me to be tired. The problems it causes, I would recommend looking up EMF, EMF sensitivity and different things like that, because I feel like we're affected by that now that we've had this problem with fluoroquinolone. So I would look into that a little bit more, because I try to stay off my phone as much as possible. I will use I will use airplane mode. I will use different things to, airplane mode to keep my phone off so I have less radiation, and then kind of check in throughout the day. If I spend too much time on my phone, and you might want to check for yourself, I think you'll also notice that some of us notice that we have a change in us when we're on the phone too long. So that's something to be aware of. That's something I wanted to mention. The next thing I would want to mention, this is a supplement, is a good probiotic. What happens with these drugs, Cipro and Levaquin and Avalox, is that it goes on and kills all the bacteria in our body. But we do need some good bacteria in our gut, and it wipes that out as well, which opens up the door to let yeast grow, and all kinds of problems can come from that. So first thing I would recommend, aside from the magnesium, is a really good probiotic. I have one down in the description below. That's another strong key. And what I'm only doing is I'm only mentioning vitamins and supplements that I have noticed help me. I have tried, I have tried a lot of supplements throughout the years trying to find the one that works, but these are my core group that seem to really work. So a good probiotic is next to magnesium. The next one is this little wonder. This is called PQQ. I know you can't see it, but it's by Life Extensions, and it's I'm not sure what to make of it. I mean, it's incredible. It works supposedly by helping you to reproduce or to make more mitochondria and strengthen your existing mitochondria, is my understanding. Our mitochondria is damaged. That's why we have this lack of energy. That's why we have brain fog. That's why we have these problems. Using this stuff, I only use it once a day, and I've only been using it a couple of months, but I have noticed some dramatic changes. Not that came on immediately, but over time, I have noticed that I'm feeling better and better using this stuff. So my next goal is to see if I can afford to start using it 2 to 3 times a day, because I'm only using it once a day, and I'd like to see the benefits really go up if I start using more. So that's one. Another one that's really, really key for us is B vitamins. And I know that B12 is important, and a few of the other ones are important as well. But getting a good B vitamin, and the problem is that a lot of B vitamins that we ingest through our cereal or through cheap supplements are not a good kind. A lot of us can't absorb that. We already have absorption problems, a lot of us, because of the damage done to our body. And I find a lot of us also suffer from an MTHFR gene mutation. If you're not familiar, look that up. But my problem was I had a ton of B12 running around in my system until I started taking the correct type of B12, which is methylcobalamin, I believe it is. But I started using that, a supplement, a B vitamin supplement with that in it, and noticed dramatic changes from that I was able to. It seemed like I was getting a lot more energy, a lot more benefit to my nerves. So I use Be Right, and I have put that in the description below as well. To keep moving, because I know I can't make too long of a video. For anybody that's suffering from anxiety or memory issues, this stuff is a champ. It's called Bacopa, and it's an herb, and it's an adaptogen. I noticed it helps, I believe, my cortisol levels. I had this kind of fight or flight response always going, where I was always just, on edge, but tired at the same time. This stuff has put me in a very mellow mood. I use it once or twice a day, depending on my day. And I've noticed it also helps with memory. So that's great. It does clear up the brain fog somewhat. Vitamin C, I use about 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day spread out. I don't have a link below for that, but I just use standard ascorbic acid in the powder form. And I've noticed that really helps with a lot of different things. And it's good just in general to have some vitamin C in your body, right? Another one, this one is Concentrace trace minerals. And the reason I use that is I've heard that the minerals in our body are stripped out. Magnesium is obviously gone. I believe potassium and other minerals are also sapped away when we're ill. So I add this to my water because I do get the distilled water, which is clean of all minerals and everything. So I re-add this in to give me a boost. And I notice my energy goes through the roof during those days when I put this in. The days I forget, not so hot. So that's huge. I have a link down below as well for that. Omega-3 fish oil, just recently started using this and have already noticed huge results as far as pain levels decreased as well, as it's helped a lot with anxiety primarily. My pain was already pretty good because of the magnesium. It does take a little bit of the edge off and seems to help somewhat still with the joint pain, but the biggest benefit for me has been helping with my anxiety, which has been out of control for a long time, and I finally feel like I have it under control using this omega-3. So that's what I wanted to recommend. DHEA, it's it helps regulate your hormones, from what I understand. I felt like I was all kinds of out of whack with everything. It has also helped kind of bring me to a more peaceful state, and I used to have this kind of energy that just felt like a shaking inside of my body all the time. And it feels like this has really helped center something, bring something back around. And then finally, D3, vitamin D3. From what I hear, we're all very deficient in it, just in general. America and North America, but just in general, people are deficient in it. I think even more so when we're sick. We spend a lot of time inside, or, but D3 is huge. I use the supplement. I take 5,000 IUs a day to get that in my body. I have a link below for that as well. And that has been really helpful. I've noticed my levels going back to the doctor have gone up after using this for a while now. So I'm happy to see that. Those are my core group of supplements right there, starting with the magnesium. If you're just going to try one, magnesium, the spray, and the pills, that stuff is amazing. The probiotic is also important, but these rest of these ones, some you may not need because you may not have anxiety or whatever the case may be, but I believe these have helped me progress to where now, after I believe it's 13 and a half years now, I am trying to get some kind of work going, trying to rebuild my writing business. It's difficult. I still do tire easily, but I'm actually able to go out and be with friends now without the aid of narcotics or different drugs that I had to use. I'm able to do a lot more. I finally have hope in my life that I could have a future after this. So that's kind of what I want to instill to people watching this video. When people first get sick from this, I hear all the time people writing me, they're scared and they've lost hope and they're just frustrated. And they feel like there's no end in sight, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but let me assure you there is. Like if I had given up, if I had decided, been successful killing myself at some point, or if I had, just given up entirely, if I hadn't found God and found strength, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have started experiencing this rebuilding of my life. I've lost a decade. I've lost well over a decade. But I know that I was a severe case. I was a very severe case when this happened, I believe. Lucky to be alive, actually, from it. With the rhabdomyolysis, I believe I should have been gone. But I'm lucky to be here, and I'm just trying to assure you that there is hope. Removing the fluoride, prayer, these different vitamins, supplements, all of them have just been so crucial, and all of them have helped. I need to close this video out because I know it's kind of long, and that's kind of why I'm speeding along on it. But what I want to say to anybody out there watching this video that's having a hard time right now, and maybe you're scared, or I want to let you know that you can comment down below, and I try to respond to every comment. It may take me a little bit of time, but I do try to respond to everyone I can. Also, if you want to write me personally, you can. I will provide my Instagram account where you can send me a private message. My Instagram account is at 50 Shades of Graydon _ I'll write it in the description below. Feel free to contact me. A lot of people need some extra help and need, maybe want to do it privately aside from, a public comment. So always feel free to comment, or contact me through that. I can help you. I can walk you through. I can give you 13 years of experience on how I have climbed out of this hole somewhat. Not that I'm 100%, but I am a lot better than I was before, and I have to chalk it up to everything I'm offering up in this video today. So, if you'd like to comment below for me to pray for you, feel free. I'll pray for you. And then, like I said, if you want to contact me privately, feel free to do so. Listen, there is hope. You can't give up hope, because once you do, you're hopeless. And that's a horrible place to be. There is hope. You have to believe you will get better. You have to keep trying, and you have to know things will get better. Our body heals in time. Sometimes it just takes time. If I had known about the magnesium, 13 and a half years ago, this could have been a 2-year deal for me. So I hope and pray that this helps somebody. And if it helps you, please please comment below. Please share this video with your friends if you like. If you know anybody else that could benefit from this information, please feel free to contact me. And just, you know, in closing, please don't give up hope. That's the last thing that you can do. I know it's hard. I know it's extremely hard, but hang in there, because the things will change. They will change. They have for me, and I just want to assure you that it will change. It will get better. You will heal. You will heal. So that's where I'll leave it at. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll give you an update again soon. I hope this helps.